After more than a decade, we got what we wanted. For the longest time, rechargeable battery glove sets seemed like a thing of fiction. You'd have thought that at the height of gloving in 2015, we would have had the technology and capability in order to do so. It never happened. Until now. These are the Stone Orbits Duos, one of the very few rechargeable glove sets to ever exist. It's a USB-C rechargeable microlight, and I recommend buying the charging dock for it, unless you want to waste your time charging each light individually. The basic charging dock sells separately for $35. There are many different designs to choose from if you want to spend a little more. A set of 10 chips for the Duos are about $120. On the website, there's actually a buy 8, get 2 free deal, so altogether bare minimum, you're looking at around $155 for a set, which in gloving terms means that it's an investment. The countless hours of swapping in and out batteries and disposing of them has come to an end. The battery pack is connected to the chip, and you plug the bottom of the chip into the USB-C charging dock. Charging the Duos are straightforward. You plug a USB-C into the dock, and a flashing blue light will indicate that it is charging. It takes about 45 minutes to fully charge, and the blue light will turn off once the charging is done. One of the defining characteristics of the Duos are that they consist of 2 LEDs. You've got a bulb, and the other on the actual chip, which is by far the coolest thing I've ever seen in a microlight. The very first hour of playing with the Duos, I felt like a kid in a candy shop. They are incredibly bright. I mean, probably the brightest chip on the market right now. What do you expect with 20 lights on your hands? At max strength with all LEDs on, you're getting around 4 to 6 hours of runtime. I've experienced having 1 or 2 lights die out at the 4-hour mark while others would run 6. And this is where the concept of rechargeables fail. It would be incredibly painful to find out one light dies mid-event, and now you no longer have easy access to changing the batteries. I want a glove now. Not wait another hour. Now. Stone Orbits made it possible to program each light independently. There's a global brightness setting with 4 levels, and if you don't want the extra LED, you can program either the bulb or light on the chip off. The benefits of doing so allow the runtime of the light to go much longer. But why would you do that? The 2 LEDs are one of the highlights of this chip. Don't you want to show others that you own one of the hottest chips in the market? Using the Duos are an entirely new experience. Every finger roll felt like value to me. They felt like jewels. You're essentially doing double the trails, and there's this unique sparkling characteristic to that. It feels full. Because each light is individually programmable, you can have 2 different flashing patterns on one chip. And this is an absolute game changer for me. You can do 2 things at once. The Duos force you into a different state of mind. Forget splicing concepts. Let's splice flashing patterns. The range of possibilities extend beyond what was previously imaginable. When the world of gloving felt like it had come to an end, a few were still out there, innovating. The Duos come with 5 modes, 32 flashing patterns, over 14 million color combinations, and a seated randomizer. On the Stone Orbits website, they even mention that the smart randomizer creates a set based on color theory. It would be impossible to test if every randomized mode is based on this claim, but after playing with it for a while, I noticed that the majority of the sets that came out were pretty good. And a function like this is so valuable because it saves you time and bandwidth for when you don't want to craft an entire set. Randomizers are so fun to play with. Every click comes with a feeling of curiosity and excitement. I could spend hours playing with this feature. An entire chip that creates randomized sets based on color theory. Since when did lights actually teach you something? The wireless mode sharing is also going to be your best friend while using the Duos. It is optimal to program one chip and use the wireless mode sharing to synchronize your chip one at a time. It is currently not possible to synchronize all your chips at one time. This does, however, serve the opportunity to physically share glove sets with your fellow glovers. The function has been a hit or miss, especially with the gloves on, and you may have to try multiple times to transfer the settings on one chip to the other. The utility on this chip is remarkable. It has basic features like power lock and factory reset, but the duos also possess advanced settings, and in order to unlock them, you need to press the chip 12 times in menu select, then hold down longer on the normal programming colors. This can be extremely confusing. But once you unlock the advanced settings, you have access to custom pattern builder that allows you to fully customize unique modes in great detail right out of the chip. They even had conjurers and impactors in mind, adding a one-click mode which allows you to turn the duos on or off with a single click, and a keychain mode that emulates somewhat of an emissive iNovo microlight. I'm not sure how I feel about it, as it changed colors after every second rotation. There is a color shift mode where the chip will select two neighboring colors on the color wheel, and with each click, cycle through the color wheel. They've also implemented a feature that if you get lost while programming, you hold the button on the chip for more than 10 seconds, and it will force sleep while saving your current settings. This feature is a godsend. They literally thought of everything. Or did they? The Stone Orbit's duos potentially pose as a microlight with one of the most customability features without using any other pieces of hardware or third-party programs. All of its features can be unlocked with just using the chip. With the sheer amount of functionality and oddly specific instructions at times, it makes sense why there's a got lost for sleep option. Programming the duos is an incredibly intimidating task. The Stone Orbit's website has listed intuitive interface as a feature on their product, but I could not disagree even more. There is a learning curve to this light, with many different instructions to remember, and it has personally taken me a while to grasp learning how to program them. I'm old school when it comes to programming lights, so if you're anything like me, prepare yourself because the duos are an entirely different beast. Sometimes I am deterred from using them because I want to program a simple set, and programming them on the duos just takes more time and effort. Fortunately, there are friends and resources out there to help you understand its programmability and hone its power. Placing and removing the chip on the charging dock is also a dreadful undertaking. The bottom of the duo's casing has an opening and you can insert the bottom of the board into the USB-C port, but I just can't stand the scratchiness and seemingly fragility of it all. Stone Orbit swears by its durability, but something about the experience tells me otherwise. If you're someone looking to buy the duos because it saves you money in the long run, you have to make sure that you are delicate with them. If the entire point of rechargeables is to save you money, it would be ironic having to buy new ones if you accidentally break them. With great power comes great responsibility, right? Taking the duos out of the casing is probably one of the most agonizing experiences I've ever had in changing a microlight. You're required to pinch the opening of the casing and push the bulb out, and this requires a bit of force. If you're ever thinking about changing the casing, I advise you to do so with utmost care. And if you would like to heighten your experience using the duos with more comfortability or having them shine with a bigger casing, Glow LEDs offers both the closed and open duo skins, each with customizable colors. And you can use my code AlohaNation for 10% off during checkout at glow-leds.com. The Stone Orbit duos open a gateway of possibilities that many have yet to uncover for years to come. We have reached a point where the power of true customization exists within the body of a singular light. I am excited to see new sets that come from the creative minds of the gloving community, and I'm most eager to witness the greatness that is achievable from one of the most jam-packed microlights ever put into a glove. If you are looking for a product where you can explore endless possibilities and keep dollars in your pocket, this is it. So, I heard you were thinking about joining the Academy. Look, I've been gloving for more than 12 years. Throughout those years, I've always wondered, could I ever support myself doing this? Turns out, might stand a chance, but only with the help from you guys. So, you want to speedrun this shit? All the knowledge will be right at your fingertips. See you there.